Hello everyone, this is Tyler from Socrates Trading, and it is April 6th. It's Monday, so I'll get right into it. And the topic is about airline stocks and if these are solid buys right now. Okay, as we know, airline stocks in general have taken a huge hit when we look at Southwest, Delta, United, American, all of the airlines, and many more have all taken a huge hit in the past 2 months. Some of these stocks have been down almost 85 to 90%, unprecedented, actually at all-time lows. And it presents the question, are these good deals right now? And overall, I would say yes, especially for short-term investors or even day traders, which is unbelievable because these are the kind of stocks that day traders wouldn't usually be trading. And because of how volatile the market is and how low these stocks are, at these prices, when you're looking at many airline stocks that are under $10, maybe under $20, some of these stocks were trading over $100, $150 3 months ago. It makes a very good situation for these stocks to rebound quickly. And this is absolutely the case with some of these airline stocks at the moment. If you look at other angles or aspects of the industry, no, it's definitely been affected big time by the epidemic that we're experiencing. But this is likely to pass, and there's likely to be a rebound in air travel. Also, if we look at airline travel and 15-year time spans, in each 15-year time span there's been positive growth in this industry, which is very significant for people or investors, and it's also good opportunities. Of these airlines, American's probably been hit the hardest, Southwest not as much, other ones, Delta's been kind of hit hard, not as bad though, and it's kind of all levels in between. The biggest issue with the airlines, though, is their debt holdings are very significant. Airline industry in general isn't it's not a high profit margin industry. So even though it's very necessity-based industry, it's transportation. Transportation is very significant for people all over the world. It's not a very high profit margin, and this is very important because this means that these companies don't have a lot of cash reserves when times like this hit. Also, these companies depend a lot on continual cash flow. They have very high expenses and costs. When you look at what it costs to operate these airplanes and airlines and maintenance and staff and all, gasoline of course, and this all significantly adds to their bottom line. One thing that has helped airlines, these stocks could have been hit even worse this year, but fortunately the gasoline price actually has dropped at least 50% this year, so airlines have been able to really get better deals on gas because the stocks could have been hit even harder. Also is that airlines are very much favored by governments. They're looked at very highly because it's transportation, and they play such a large role in the ecosystem of movement of people, of cross-commerce, of global trade, that it's so significant today. And so governments very much are likely to jump to aid these companies in crises like right now. And this is definitely the case in the US. They're very close to this $2 trillion stimulus package, which will benefit the airline industry. Consider that right now the air traffic is down in many cases 70 to 80, maybe 90%. When this epidemic starts to die out, will this increase rapidly, or will the numbers go back up? Yes, but likely not real fast. And this is also a significant problem compared to other industries, and this is why these stocks likely won't rebound as quickly, because these companies obviously aren't probably going to have as high of revenue or gross profits like other industries. And these companies obviously are very much in parallel to how other industries are doing. When you look at how many business travel or vacationers or people in the need for excess revenue or income per month, it's or discretionary income, it's very important for these industries to survive. And when you look at currently, many people are very suffering. They're having a very hard time just to pay basic expenses. So this is obviously a huge hit. In terms of the best winners, this is really a question of you and looking at short-term versus long-term goals. If you're looking at short-term, as a day trader, very different, or swing trader, than long-term investments. But for long-term investments, companies like Delta, Alaska Airlines, these two could probably weather. Southwest also. These airlines can likely get through this, and you'll see these stocks bounce back pretty quickly. If we look 2 or 3 years down the road, the stocks could be 5 times higher than now. Companies like American Airlines that have huge debt ratios, very difficult for them, and they'll need a lot of government assistance. They'll likely have to totally restructure their company, and they may even have to be acquired or merged with another airline company. So this is definitely important to take into account if you're buying one of these higher risk stocks like this, especially for a long-term investor. Also note that airlines rely heavily on unit revenue, and unit revenue is the most important statistic here. And what it is a percentage of people or occupancy and how much profit is made on each person. And this is very essential to understand. Also look at the around the world in the past few years and ongoing, there's been a lot of airports that have been doing infrastructural modifications, and these are all costs that are passed on to airlines when they land at these airports, because how airline industry works is they pay a premium to land at these airports, and they often don't actually own the airports. It's basically like rental. So this kind of configures into the cost of the ticket and prices. And this is one other aspect. If we look at airline tickets right now, they are incredibly low compared to at other points in time because there's no demand. So some of these companies are basically giving away tickets for free. You can fly now from Chicago to California round trip for like $30 or $40 a ticket. It's crazy. 3 months ago, that same ticket would have been a few $100s. And this is also important, even as the occupancy of planes increases in the next couple months, they still will have to keep prices lower because the demand's going to be lower. Now, as the demand goes higher, likewise, their prices will be able to increase, and there'll be more equilibrium in place here. So for all investors and traders, I think airline stocks can work. Just understand what you're looking for if you're a short-term or long-term investor, and just focus on one or two. Don't get too hooked on, because there's many airlines out there and you should be in business. So give me your feedback, and thank you.